opinion is there are two genders, male and female.
Did I hear SJW 2022? Now this is going to be good. It's the new year, and you know we have to celebrate it right. And what better way than watching cringe SJW videos? Let's get right into it. Imagine picking a fight with someone trying to share their own beliefs.
No, but do you support Donald Trump? Okay, can you explain why?
He's racist. He really is. We just talked about it in my African American Studies class.
Wow, I doubt she stayed with that news channel for long.
Really the only thing that is going to solve this problem for people. The wall is literally the last hope for freedom and small government in America. If you let in too many immigrants into America, if you keep letting that border be run over by immigrants, then you are not going to have a country anymore. You are not going to have an English-speaking country anymore. You are not going to have the American culture anymore. Immigrants massively vote for large government. Your government is going to expand. Social programs are going to expand. And for people, young people like myself, we're going to get the butt of it. We're going to be ignored. They're certainly ignored by Hillary Clinton. I mean, it's almost like our leaders have completely forgotten what legal immigration is. Everyone seems to feel bad for all these illegal immigrants and all of these refugees coming in on boats. What about the people waiting 5 years to come into the country legally? I mean, I don't know why legal immigration even exists anymore when I could just put on some bronzer, get on a dinghy boat and show up on the border of Sicily or the beaches of Sicily with a Quran in hand and be accepted as an immigrant.
That's an interesting protest approach.
Screaming from some of Juan's friends. I visited them last night in Washington Square Park.
Happy to see you.
Do you think screaming into the sky makes your side look good?
Screaming into the sky makes our side look fun.
Fun?
Yeah.
Funny?
Jordan clearly does not support the millions of pronouns out there.
The reason I'm defending freedom of speech is because that's how people with different opinions settle their opinions in a civil society.
Peterson, do you have any comments on the Nazi presence at your protest? The presence of Nazis and white supremacists assaulting people at your protest, do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I don't like Nazis. I'm speaking out the way I'm speaking out because I think this is a route to no violence. And violence is lurking. And you can say that that sounds like a threat.
There was no violence at our protest, though.
I just asked, would you refer to me if it wasn't for this law, and I asked you to refer to me with they, them pronouns, would you?
Well, this woman was definitely left speechless.
Would you like to guess how many birds are killed by wind? Enough that the current administration is actually exempting them from federal laws, which would put them in jail for the number of birds they're killing.
I'm sorry, but I think you should agree that the American people are a little bit more important than birds.
Ah, the American people are more important than birds? Okay.
But I will say that the tailings ponds...
I like that. I can't wait to report to the Sierra Club that I have been at Amherst and had somebody explain to me that people are more important than birds. This is a revolutionary moment.
Tough guy said bye-bye.
I've shut down the streets.
Go in the middle of the street again.
To prevent us from shutting down the streets.
Go in the middle of the street again. You scared? You scared? Go in the middle.
I just got here.
Go in the middle of the street.
Obviously,
he's scared. Look at him. He's scared.
It's called a force multiplier again, Cole. I'm not going to stand up against a force multiplier, Cole.
He believes in it, but he's scared. He won't go out there and get hit with a bat, but he's scared.
Do not argue with the Cole. Do not argue with the Cole.
He's lying. So why don't you go out there then? You're scared of what you believe in. Go out there, tough guy. Go out there, tough guy. Okay, call me names, but go out there, tough guy. Yeah, pass the mic. Pass the mic to somebody braver. But that person won't die either. Neither will the next person. Neither will the next person. That's why you're standing here and you won't go onto the street. But you want to stop a bus with innocent human beings on it that want to go home to their families. Tough guys. Those are the tough guys. Everybody give it up for them.
Go on sucking the state's dick.
Peace, love, guys. Give it up for them.
Thanks for joining.
Does that mean he is just a man? Had the fancy titles.
Is abusive. Joining us right now is Professor Jordan Peterson, as well as Professor AWP. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.
Professor Peterson, let's begin with you. Why are you against the use of alternate pronouns?
I'm against the use of legislation to determine what words are that
myself and other people are required to utter.
But would you use alternate pronouns if a student asked you to?
I think I've made my position on that clear already.
Well, perhaps not to our audience at home who are just being introduced to this. Would you use alternate pronouns? And why not?
Because I don't believe that other people have the right to determine what language I use, especially when it's backed by punitive legislation. And when the words that are being required are the constructions, they're artificial constructions of people I regard as radical ideologues whose viewpoint I do not share.
Well, we have a graphic to show our audience at home.
Some more of Jordan against all the unique pronouns. Here's has a point. This guy went on live television and didn't know what he was talking about.
There I was thinking it was just me that had a problem, but it turns out it's the air conditioning that's sexist.
I know. So many women in our office have the exact same problem. You know, we just sit there absolutely freezing at our desks trying to type. You can probably tell I've got a cold right now, which I blame all on the AC. And so it's just so actually quite nice to see this research. It's just such a relief to know that there's actually proof that this is happening, that women, you know, do feel the cold more than men, and that the AC in offices is normally regulated more for a male's temperature than a woman's.
And it's an explanation for these constant battles you'll see in offices right across the country between the sexes for control of that office thermostat.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, one of the biggest problems is that often in offices, it is men who control temperatures. You know, that's just something I've found anecdotally.
Never thought I'd hear this before.
Out there with a melanin deficiency, it is not the job of black women to explain to you all in nauseam the ramifications of racism and white supremacy. We are not obligated to educate you on our oppression that we have to experience daily, that you benefit from on the daily. It's not our job. You are not entitled to our time. You are not entitled to our labor. You are not entitled to our kindness. Even entitled to a sliver of the sidewalk when we're walking out.
I guess even the sidewalk is owned by a race now.
Did she say what specifically she was so offended by?
She didn't like the fact that I disagreed with the subject being pushed in class being more than one gender, male privilege, systemic sexism, and mansplaining.
Is mansplaining a measurable thing? I mean, is it a like species of social science studying mansplaining? What is mansplaining anyway? Do you know? Did you learn?
I'm not sure. I think it's any time a man speaks, really.
Huh.
And
so
no, it isn't measurable.
What did you? Right. I mean, it's a species of dumbness, really. So, but what did you? It's propaganda. What did you say about gender that made her so mad, specifically?
Well, I first referenced entities like The Economist who have debunked the myth of the 77 cents on the dollar wage gap. And I also stated that biologists don't agree that there are more than two genders. They don't believe that there are 72 genders or more across the board. Most of them disagree. And
I think those were pretty cringy. I mean, I had moments where I just could not hold back a giggle. But if you guys enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe before you head off. We'll see you next time on Political Trends.